For around $30, I found a train that would take me from Saigon to the Imperial city of Hue, located about halfway up the country near the old demarcation line. When I got to the train station, I really couldn't make heads or tails of anything. I really have no idea what's going on here, but I guess it'll all work out. I can't understand anything. Chào em. Chào tôi. Hai bao. I tripped over my toes a good number of times trying to learn this language, and my skills were about to really be put to the test when I shared a bunk with an elderly man who seemed to think my Vietnamese was good enough to warrant having a conversation for the next 22 hours. The old man introduced himself. He was a Buddhist and as such adhered to a strict vegetarian diet. He was taking this train all the way to Hanoi, he told me, although his family lived in Saigon. He appeared nervous in telling me this, and I never did figure out the reason for his journey. For hours, he desperately tried to connect in Vietnamese and seemed unperturbed by the fact that I had no idea what he was saying. As soon as he saw that I was awake, he began talking again. Although smiling often, he seemed to be profoundly bothered by something, like a man who knows he's just about come to the end of the road. He was eager to tell me something which I couldn't quite understand. I tried to use the translator, but he was having problems pronouncing the words and couldn't read the screen of my phone. All right, lunchtime. Been on this train for almost 20 hours. One hell of a view. Some kind of spiced chicken, rice, cabbage, which I'm seeing a lot of lately, boiled cabbage. As we approached my stop, I said goodbye to my new friend, and he reached into a cardboard suitcase and handed me a sweetened rice cake. I'll never understand exactly what he was trying to tell me. I just hope he found some peace wherever he was headed. Notable for an elaborate moat system running the perimeter, the Imperial city of Hue served as the capital of Vietnam during the Nguyen dynasty. Having survived countless wars, it's now a UNESCO World Heritage Site and draws in tourists from around the world. This is Bano. It's kind of a rice pancake sort of a thing with some greens, crispy pork belly, and of course the nuoc mam, fermented fish sauce.
150
Okay.
and 120.
120. Okay.
And push.
Ah, okay, okay, for the gas. The lady at the hotel really wasn't messing around when she gave me directions to the nearest gas station. This thing was running on fumes, and it would be a miracle if I could get there without having to walk the bike. Cho tôi 40. Dạ. Come on. Although I initially found this structure pretty impressive, I quickly realized I hadn't seen a fraction of what was in this city. Mocho. Kai nai? Okay. Traditionally a dish eaten by the extremely poor, this rice porridge with the side of marinated dried fish set me back about 60 cents and quickly became my go-to. Wow, look at that. About 10 degrees cooler in here. That's where the Royal Palace is, where you just saw me walking around. You can see they definitely didn't skimp when it comes to home security. This moat goes all the way around this entire compound, several miles, all the way around. That looks like it's got a cannon right there, and probably had cannons all the way around, ready to blow the shit out of any would-be intruders. Talk about some thick walls on this garrison right here. These guys are ready to take some shit. That is absolutely massive. These are some serious ass cannons. This dish is famous all over Vietnam. A lot of the Vietnamese people that I've talked to tend to prefer this over pho or any other kind of noodle soup. It's a bún bò Huế from the city of Huế, and everybody seems to be really interested in what I'm doing. Xin chào. Fish balls, congealed chunks of pork blood, of course bò, which is beef, and the ubiquitous assortment of greens, and a little bit of nuoc mam. Okay, nuoc mam. Okay, a little bit of nuoc mam with chili. I don't know what just happened over there. But anyway, a little bit of lime and everything like that. A little bit of chilies. Got to be a little bit careful when chilifying your dish, because when you go to drink the broth, you just realize you completely turned it into an absolute inferno. And these are like fish balls or crab balls, fresh greens. I don't know what these greens are. There's lettuce, bean sprouts. So, first thing, I'm gonna try some of these ground up fish balls. We'll dip in the nook mom. That's amazing. A little bit of congealed pork blood. Get that in the nook mom, because everything's better with nook mom. So good. A lot of times you get anything made with blood has a very gamey animal type of flavor. This is clean, fresh, doesn't have any kind of off taste at all. Oh man, that's delicious. Almost everybody's covered completely head to foot in some kind of clothes. I mean, obviously there's exceptions, but I mean, look, especially the women are just completely bundled up from head to toe, because the Vietnamese highly value a very light skin complexion. If you see anybody wearing a short sleeve shirt or, you know, not all bundled up and stuff, there's a pretty safe bet that you're looking at a foreigner. On display all around the city were examples of both old Vietnam and the more modern version. Xin chào. Cho tôi một bát cơm hến. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is something I've been really excited about trying for quite a while. This is cum hen, kind of a thing that's famous in Hue, which is rice with little bitty river mussels or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but we're about to find out. Salty, fishy, delicious. That's one of the best things I've eaten in Vietnam. So you've got garlic, cilantro, coriander, fried pig skins, rice, star fruit. Looks like a green star fruit. Xin chào. Cho tôi 2 cái này. Anything sesame seeds, I'm all about it. Little donut, probably filled with something. I've had these before. I don't know what they're filled with, but with the sesame seeds on the outside, deep fried, they're absolutely insane. That is amazing. I find the best thing to do in a new city is just go and see where you end up. In this case, doing so involved navigating some extremely narrow city streets and was a hair-raising experience to say the least. Need to haul a washing machine and got a scooter? No problem. About to eat one of my favorites, and judging by the ambiance around here, I just have a feeling this is going to be good. Typically at buntik noon, you get the noodles, vegetables, and then like some pork or something like that on top of it. You mix it all together, and then you put the nook on top of it, so you give it a little bit of a sauce. In this case, they made kind of a peanut sauce with the nook mom. Even though it's the same dish, and I've had it in many different places, it's got a completely different flavor profile. Oh, the smell of this rice right now, walking through here. So fragrant, aromatic. Xin chào.
Sao đi. Câu ngay như vô trả lời ta không tiếng. Con này, vô.
So undoubtedly one of the best things to learn in Vietnam when walking through the marketplace is Tôi ăn rồi, which means I already ate, or Tôi có rồi, which means I already have. For instance, if somebody tries to sell you a t-shirt, I've already got a t-shirt. I already have. So I'm just sitting in here. This is very kind of crazy, and just having some café soda. Café soda. Café soda. Come on. Tôi đang học tiếng Việt.
Chị hỏi em năm được bao nhiêu tuổi?
Chị hỏi.
Công nhiêu?
Đây không nhiều. Tuổi của mình. Đúng rồi. Tuổi mình. Hiểu chưa?
Yeah. I don't think typically a lot of foreigners can speak any Vietnamese at all, so I speak a couple words and they seem to think I'm completely fluent, which is not the case. Hey, tôi muốn học tiếng Việt. I love Vietnam. Very good food, good cafe. Yeah, everything.
Uống cà phê này có ngon không?
Cái này ngon.
Còn ngon không?
Không hiểu.
Không hiểu.
Back at my favorite place for Bún Ba Huế, and as you can see, there's lots of other people, so that's always a good sign. Simply the best version of this dish I have ever had anywhere. of my favorites. The Hue, specialty, ban lok. So once you peel back the banana leaf and kind of unpack it, you got this translucent dumpling with the shrimp and a little piece of pork belly. Take this, dip it in some of the fermented fish sauce. I just absolutely love this dish. It's one of my favorites in all of Vietnam. I just let this guy tip and he gave me a big go. No, it's okay, brother. It's okay. It's all good, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. My friend Dow had strongly suggested I pay the $5 and go inside the palace grounds. So on my last day in town, I headed back to the Citadel. I really wasn't crazy about the idea of checking out something I perceived to be a tourist attraction, but my misconceptions were soon to be proven wrong. All right, so this is the inside of the Citadel.
Hối vi nhạc bác. Ghi đôi hối vi.
All right, so here's a diorama. That's where the big flag is, out there. And I am right inside of there. Damn, this place is big. What I found inside the walls of this Citadel defied description. The effect of simply being here was like stepping back in time. That's a hard gig. Still got the French version, English, Vietnamese. This place is like a maze. Got all these roads running through here. It's absolutely enormous. I really have no idea where the hell I am right now, but that looks cool. Just what an interesting place. UNESCO World Heritage Site. They go to great pains to keep this thing in good condition. I've only got maybe another hour before I got to get on this little bus to Hoi An. There just ain't no way I'm going to be able to see everything. I'd have to come back at some point and kind of really explore it. But here you can see all this vast moat system that runs around this entire citadel. Incredibly old and interesting. Well, isn't that charming? Just big enough to get a guy on a boat through there. Somebody on a canoe, I guess. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right, look at that. This is pretty freaking neat. Insane little bonsai garden. These are all bonsai. And there's the city going about its business outside of the Citadel walls. Never seen anything like it. Python skinned stringed instrument. Well, that was absolutely an awesome journey. Totally worth the price of admission. Thanks to my friend Dow for suggesting that I actually go inside. In this case, it was absolutely worth it. The history was just so rich. There's so much to see in there. It's not to say that you can hear the footsteps of the emperors of years past, but if you listen closely, I think you can. After leaving the Citadel, it was time for one last meal in the city of Hue.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh.
Very good. Very good.
Very good. Very good. Come on. So this is bún yao cua that has a added addition of a crab ball. The city of Hue is like a time capsule of Vietnamese history. Every time I turned around, there was something interesting to see. With its impressive stone architecture, bridges, and of course the food, it's certainly worth a stop for anyone visiting the country. Having finished my business here, I was itching to take a ride into the mountains. First, I would be chartering a van which would take me to the small city of Hoi An, and from there, I would rent a bike and head for the infamous Ho Chi Minh Trail. Hey, Joe here. I hope you enjoyed that video of the Imperial City of Hue. Just a quick reminder, if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. And as usual, I've included an optional donate link in the drop box for anybody that might like to contribute to this project. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the road.